Before I decided to try period underwear out for myself, I watched lots of YouTube videos, I read all different kinds of articles, and now that I've had a few months to really try and test out Modibodi's underwear, I want to give you guys my honest thoughts on my experience and to answer some of the questions that I had along the way, but I guess before I started wearing them. This goes without saying that if I'm going to be talking about underwear that you wear on your period, I'm going to be getting into all the nitty-gritty details. So if you are someone who does not bleed or is not interested in knowing about this, then you don't need to watch. To give you guys some background on myself, I normally wear pads, I wear tampons if I need to, but to be honest, we all know how annoying pads are. Tampons also, I don't love the idea of them. Period cups, not quite for me. So I was very fascinated by the idea of Modibodi and period underwear in general. I think the concept is a little bit hard to get around that you're bleeding into your underwear, but I think if you can kind of just let that go and be open to the idea of giving them a go, then you'll be really happy with what you'll find, which is certainly what I experienced. Modibodi come in all different shapes and sizes. There's all different cuts you can choose from, obviously different absorbencies, and something that I really like about them is that they are eco-friendly in that rather than going through numerous pads or tampons throughout one period cycle, I have my underwear that I get to wash and I get to rewear them. Also, when they are getting to the end of their life cycle, you can actually send them back to Modibodi and they'll recycle them, which I think is really cool. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple. These ones are brand new, straight out of the packaging, and I should have kept the packaging to show you, but they come in these really nice cardboard boxes, so that is also eco-friendly. From the outside, you can see they just look like a normal pair of underwear, but when you look closer, you can actually see here that this is actually where the gusset is, which holds your blood. This particular one is a heavy / overnight one, so you can see the gusset goes fairly high and it actually goes all the way up the back as well, which I like. This is an example of a light to moderate flow underwear, and the gusset, if I flip it inside out, you can actually see what it looks like. So that is what the gusset looks like, and you can see on these ones they don't go as far back. And then this other one that I've got here, this one is from their seamless collection, so I don't know how it will actually look once it's on. As I just said, I haven't worn these ones yet. And then just to show you guys, they also come in colors and patterns and things like that. So I get all of mine just in the regular bikini style, but they've got ones that are more like boy leg shorts. They've got G-strings, all different kinds. I will just show you guys, this is one of the first pairs that I got. This is an overnight one, and I have washed it a number of times now. I wouldn't even be able to tell you how many. You can see, actually I don't even know if you can see, the colors faded a little bit, but in terms of the actual gusset part of it, it's still holding strong. It's not showing any signs that it's losing its absorbency or anything like that. So I think they will stand for a fair bit of time. You need to wash the underwear before you wear it for the first time, and that activates, or quote unquote activates, the technology that is in the gussets, which are in the underwear. And I would say that when you are wearing these, it genuinely feels like you're just wearing normal underwear. The thing I hate about pads is when they are crinkled up and they're just not sitting right and you feel like you've got a wedgie and all those kinds of things. You certainly don't experience that with these, which I love. I would say the only time you feel like you're actually wearing period underwear is if your underwear is full. So if you have used it to its absorbency, it feels heavy. So that's the only time you notice anything that feels out of the ordinary. Something else that I really like about these is that if you're wearing a pad or a tampon, obviously you can see all of that blood there. Something which I find really interesting with these is that because it absorbs your blood so well, and I guess because the gusset is black and it's so dark, the only time you actually see any blood is if you've got like clots or if you've got a really heavy flow for that day. The only time I've ever had a leak was when I wore one of the overnight ones and I had a really heavy period. It wasn't too bad of a leak, but that's the only time I've ever experienced anything like that. Now that I've had a chance to try all the different absorbencies, have a play with them, wear them at different times, I know what works for me, and I think that really is the trick here. So honestly, like, in case you haven't picked up on it, I truly do love these. I think these have changed the way I go about having my periods, how comfortable I feel on my periods. They're really just such a great idea, and I honestly don't know how these didn't exist earlier. The only one little thing I have to say which I dislike about these is once you wear them, you have to take them off, rinse them under cold water, and then basically you are able to then put them into a laundry bag, and then you can just chuck it in with your normal load of cold washing. Now the thing with that is that, let's say I wear 2 underwears in a day. So it's 2 pairs of underwears that I've had to rinse, and I've had to leave them out to semi-dry, so that way they're ready to go when I do a load of washing, you know, whether it's the next day or the day after. So oftentimes when I have my period and I'm wearing my Modibodi, I have semi-wet, rinsed out underwear hanging all over the place until I have the time to do my laundry. And look, if I really wanted to, I could hand wash them every day, but that is a lot of work, and it's not that bad that I need to rinse the underwear and have them laying out so that way I can then put them in the washing machine after. But like, it makes me feel like I need to do more loads of washing when I've got my period, just so that way I don't have underwear all over the place, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. If you're watching this and you wear period underwear and you do something different, let me know. But at least for me, that's the only thing I have to say is a little bit, I don't even want to use the word frustrating, because honestly all of the pros of how Modibodi has changed the way I have my period outweigh the fact that I've got to rinse them every time I wear them. So just having a look on Modibodi's website, it looks like the underwear start at around $26 for 1 pair, going up to about $35 depending on which one you pick. You can also get packs of, how many is that? Packs of 5 for $70. In the long run, if I think about all of the money that I've spent on sanitary products over the years and how much more comfortable I feel with these, I honestly think it's worth the investment. And I didn't make a big investment to start. I just started with the overnight ones and some of the lighter ones to give them a go, see how I felt about them. Currently I have 7 pairs, which isn't, probably would need a little bit more, I'd say, if I wanted to get through my whole entire period. But in saying that, obviously depending on when I do my washing, this can get me through for the moment. I've just invested a little bit at a time whenever there's been a sale, that kind of thing, and it's been worth it. I know there are lots of other brands out there on the market now that do this. I personally haven't tried any of them, and I guess for me, when I was starting to do my research into them, Modibodi was the original, the OG, and I put my trust in them, and I'm really glad I did, because I feel like I've seen reviews of other brands that have been okay. Modibodi is great. I think that's honestly all I wanted to say about them, but long story short, they're bloody good. Hope you guys learned something, and go get yourself some Modibodi, because I love them and I think it would change the game for you guys too. Catch you in my next video. Has this become my sign off? Surely not. Peace out.